the guy Bombad.
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
We have waves, bruh.
I'm gonna include that. We have waves, bruh. Then belches. We've got waves, bruh.
Nice. Okay. Let me see. I gotta get like all focused.
Why is
I was gonna send out a tweet.
burping such a '90s thing?
I don't know. That and farting is like.
Why was
like
the '90s like fart and burp? Like why? I don't even understand why. You lived it.
I lived the burp and fart jokes. Sometimes, yeah, a lot. Actually, a lot. I lived those. It was a lot to do with. I think that you couldn't really do it before. No one ever did it before because it was like, it was crass.
Yeah.
And even in the 80s, they were like, oh, that's too much. That's too much. We're not going to go there. And so in the 90s, they were like, screw it.
Like, is it
We're going to have a ridiculous fart noise. We're going to have, every comedy is going to have one person farting in a coffee can.
Yeah.
And then we're going to light it on fire.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing.
But like,
so.
what movie was it? What's the Eddie Murphy movie where they're farting around the table? What is that?
Oh, yeah, the clumps. Or no, that was the original Nutty Professor.
Yes, my father sends me that scene every now and then from YouTube. And it's just like he thinks it's hilarious. And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
I think it's because back in the day they're like, we grew up in the land of farts. And so we're like, oh, okay.
I just love that could be
okay,
your
they're
mantra.
farting on screen. It happens.
We grew up.
Gosh, I'm about to get. We just need. Let's do next week's episode on farts. So.
Farts and Star Wars.
Yeah,
that would take so much more research than I'm pretty sure some novels mention farts now. Wasn't there a recent novel that mentioned farting and people were pissed off about it? I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, wasn't it?
What was it?
Like Poe Dameron.
Yes, it
Poe
was.
Dameron had a nervous stomach.
Yes. Oh God.
I think that was in the Rise of Skywalker novelization, which we will get into. So here we go. I'm going to introduce.
That was the what? Not the Rise of Skywalker novelization. The fart joke was from what was the book everyone was raving about? What's the book we talked about?
Oh, Rise of the Resistance.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah, man. Poe had a nervous tummy.
Yeah, bro. All right, are you ready, bro?
All right, bro.
Okay, bro.
Here we go. What is up, Bombad people? This is your boy, the Canon Junkie. I am here just, chilling, chillaxing. It's maybe you're listening to this at 4:20 in the afternoon, and you know what you do at 4:20?
Bruh.
You talk about the High Republic with the Bombadcast, and there's no, you know what? You can't have a High Republic conversation. You can't talk about getting high. I can't without my good buddy, Scotty J-Ro, my better half. Scotty, how you doing, buddy?
How we doing, Bill? Not this week. So I had to get Paul out of here real quick.
Paul,
he was about to jump down the throats of everyone again. He's not coming back. I just punched him in the face. I'm doing great. I'm sorry about last week, Paul. I have locks in the doors this week. It will not happen again, people. Will not.
Yeah, I mean, you're risking a class action lawsuit right now with a rock star, like a multi-million-dollar rock star, just by punching him in the face. But I think he might be used to it. I don't know. So
I was hoping that we would be inquired by Kiss management to remove all of our photos and delete that episode, but it didn't get that big. They're really big about that kind of stuff. But no, bruh, I'm so happy, bruh, that we're here, bruh, talking about the High Republic, bruh, bruh. But yeah, bruh. It's going to be sick, brah. Coruscant 200 years ago, brah. When the green was fresh, brah.
200 years ago. Yeah, man. That's the stankiest High Republic is back 200 years, man. It ages well,
Brah.
That's the kind you want. That's the kind you want, brah. But, you know, Scotty, we got an announcement, a huge announcement this week of all of these insane books, you know, that, I mean, we kind of gave you guys the 411
of course,
on the top one everyone's looking for last week.
Yes.
You know, with you know, a certain, some might say, mature Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yes. It's a shadow release,
he's
too.
Yeah. And
it's a nocturnal emission, if you will.
But Scott, we got a lot of segue. We got an announcement of Project Luminous, which is the High Republic, Star Wars: The High Republic, and we've got books upon books, comics. I mean, you name it, we got it.
The first wave too. That was the thing. The first wave. And they've been working on this since 2018. So it's just like, what is that? Like, my eyes got, like, I was, like, reading and listening to all these videos and they announced it. I was like, what is going on? Like, this is crazy. Just so many people collaborate on this. I don't know. But, yeah, hopefully we'll get some wonderful weirdos out of this. Some new ones, maybe.
Oh, hopefully, you know, because there's nothing, real quick before we, you know, there's nothing better than, you know, grabbing one of these new Star Wars books and rolling up one of those pages and just sparking it up, diving right in to the High Republic, brah. Here we go. All right. But yeah, hey, hopefully we will get some weirdos, Scotty. Good segue.
Hey.
I feel like calling out all of our segues this week.
Brah.
So, brah. I'm just so, my consciousness is open towards them.
Me too, brah.
So I can see.
Open like a book, brah.
I don't think it's that kind of drug. But anyway, guys, by the time you're listening to this, we have started March Weirdness.
Whoa!
I know. I'm like trying to think of like some. I feel like we need some sports sound effects or something.
Yeah,
you know, like an air horn. Maybe I should just buy an air horn and just honk it, like, you know, blow it every time.
That'd be great. I don't see anything
we
wrong with
record the
that.
podcast.
Yeah, that won't be anything difficult to edit out. Mm-mm.
No. You gotta like tell, you know, but you gotta get real quiet before you do it and tell them, okay, now turn your volume way up. But now you know.
Yeah.
But no, we have started March Weirdness, which is our attempt at a March Madness thing, because I don't follow sports. I follow weird Star Wars characters. I love them.
Follow them through alleys.
I love those things. I love those weirdos, man. You guys know here at the Bombadcast, we love our background weirdos. We love all that stuff, man. So
even some humans can be weirdos. Don't forget, it's not always going to be aliens. You got C.O. Bibble. You got people like that. They got some great weirdos, you know?
Yeah. We've already had, by this time, hopefully we've already had a couple of matches, too.
I think we will.
Matchups.
Yeah.
And we are, like, whittling the competition down. But I'm telling you, it's going to be close. It's going to be close this year, Scott.
It's going to be brutal, bro.
But I don't know, man. Between, whatever that, Bob Holdos.
Yes.
Between Bob Holdos's mustache and Garandon, I don't know who I'm really going to go for. So, but we'll see. We will see who will wind up being the victor of March Weirdness.
Yeah, but y'all, please be sure to vote in these things. It's going to be a fan-led tournament, and the end of the entire bracket, like by the end of it, Jerry and I are going to get into some serious discussion as to who the winner is and why this person should be victorious, and we will choose a winner based on the choices you have decided. So submit some of your responses if you want to have some of your own on there that you're excited to put on, and Jerry and I will make sure we get the graphics and everything done for that, and we will have your personal match-offs happen based on the votes on which one gets the most votes on the Twitter. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Hey, say there you go, guys. You know, you decide. This is your choice. Who lives and dies? Who is going to be the victor? You are judge, jury, and executioner in March Weirdness. I don't know sports, so I assume that that's a part of it.
No, that is. It's a common thing found in all
sudden death.
sports.
That's what sudden death means.
Yes,
right?
they have to murder each other. They literally give them javelins and things like that just to stab each other with.
And then wow, that's insane. And then they go to Disneyland. right?
Yep.
Oh, dang! I'm not supposed to mention that. Okay, yeah, never mind. Sorry, yeah, we got our residual checks coming in for that. There you go. I'm gonna try to work it in every episode now.
Oh my
Anyway.
God, that's amazing. No, stay tuned for that, y'all. It's gonna be really fun. And I'm sure if you're gonna be going to Twitter and looking at that stuff, I'm sure you haven't missed it. But some things have been pouring onto the feed, and a lot of annoying Star Wars fans are being annoying Star Wars fans about it. But recently, Ray Carson's The Rise of Skywalker novelization had an early release at a con, if I'm not mistaken, and some people got their hands on it,
like C2E2.
Yeah, that's it. R2D2. And some people got their hands on it.
Oh, what's that name? Oh,
It's Brah.
that's good. That's good.
C2E2. The thing is,
Kopi.
These novels have been leaking and people have been posting photos, but
Copious Maximus.
Let's be honest, I've looked at all of them. I'm sure Jerry has too. And they're pretty good. Like, it's actually good. I feel like it's going to be a great novel. I actually might get the audio.
Well, and I actually haven't checked too many of the leaks, and I got, dude, I don't know if you guys kind of noticed this week. I kind of was AWOL from Twitter, but like yesterday, I got on late in the evening.
Yeah.
And kind of saw
that actually. You were liking
the
everything.
Proverbial, dude. The proverbial. Yeah. I went on like my mother, like when my mother gets off work.
Yeah.
I went when she gets on Facebook, and then I get 50 notifications from my mom liking every crazy meme that I've shared. That I'm like, I don't even know if you get that. And again, hi mom, because I know you're listening. But. No, I got on last night and just kind of saw some people talking about it. And I was like, okay, what is it now? I've kind of missed a couple of big things this week. And I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't go looking for it. And I didn't really go looking for it, but I just went to see kind of what the issue was. Just to go, because it was everyone was sending out a tweet about it.
Yeah, it was. And pretty much everyone.
I don't know. I was in kind of a mood last night, and I still am kind of in it today. Where I ended up, some of it popped up on my timeline, my Canon Junkie, my personal Twitter, and I just blocked people. I haven't, and you guys know I haven't been the blocking type. Of late, you go back to our fandom episode. It's we were hoping that
was
maybe
the final...
if you just silence people a couple of, for a couple months or something, things would die down. But this is just we've all been hiding the same pot of crap under our beds, and we just decided to get them out and throw them into the ceiling fans just this weekend and stuff. I mean, it was the stuff I was seeing and stuff was just the same level as and again,
it's just the pettiness.
It's okay for you not to like something. It's okay. And it's not even that oh, I'm sad that it's not working out that way. You should have every right to go to your personal Twitter and to make your opinion known.
Of course.
It's fine.
Of course.
But what we don't have the right to do is to basically tweet at creators. And
it's frustrating, man.
Why do we even still have to say this?
I don't know.
Why do we even still? I gotta admit, Scotty, I'm a little salty.
No,
I'm still a little salty today.
It's just ridiculous.
I didn't want to get too real. And there's been a lot of look. It is not a single group of people.
Yeah.
It is just people who, like it or not, are using the tactics of a certain group of militant fans who pride themselves on pooping on everything Disney, Star Wars, and new Star Wars, and female characters and stuff. And it's just I don't know if you saw, Scotty, I posted I just got kind of tired of some stuff.
It got a bunch of likes. It deserved it too.
Well, I never want to cause trouble for it. I'll just say it. There are a lot of female fans. There are a lot of female fans who ship Reylo, who get a lot of, I'm sorry, mom, dad. They get a lot of shit on this website, and it is just a website, but that stuff affects people.
It does,
and you guys know I'm we are. Mental health is very important to me. I mean, it's important to a lot of people I know. But when you are, it's frustrating because it is not. Again, it's not the entire Raylo community, and I think it's unfair to say that they're the new fandom menace and all that. You shouldn't be saying that. It is not everyone. In fact, good friend of the show and Raylo. We have good friends of the show who are Raylos, and they are all being very respectful, very kind. They call out the bullcrap when it happens,
of course.
And this stuff was some bullcrap.
Yeah,
and it's probably never going to stop, and we got to just kind of
look. Can I?
Unfortunately, you have to mute. Unfortunately, you have to block and walk away.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, Scott.
No, I want to be the light at the end of the tunnel. Can I be the light at the end of the tunnel, real quick?
Sure.
And it's gonna really play into what I want to talk about this episode too.
The light at the end of the sewage tunnel.
Pretty much, but this really is a thing that I think.
Yeah.
I'm glad. This is honestly, hopefully, I pray. This is the last little bit of Skywalker Saga stuff that deals with the characters you know and love. This is it. This is the last little bit of it. So the toxicity, hopefully after this, will still be there. I know it will. I'm not denying it won't be. But with the High Republic releasing...
dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with the High Republic releasing and things following that, people will no longer complain about the things we love so much and are upset about the things. So I just want to make sure I understand everyone's frustration with this whole novelization. I do, even though I'm not frustrated by it. I think what I've read is amazing and probably some of the best written Star Wars information on how this person interpreted scenes and the collaborative process behind these scenes. But the attack of an author and the creatives behind it is just so inappropriate, and people should feel ashamed for themselves. And if you listen to this podcast and you do that, you unsubscribe, don't download. I don't care. I don't want to have a listener or a follower on this podcast that does things like that to other creators. It's just inappropriate.
No.
I could care less about your or if you like our show or not if you do things like that. So just being honest.
Right.
But luckily, at the end of this journey, the Skywalker saga will be over and done with. Of course, there'll still be stories told in that universe, but thankfully it won't deal with Ben or Rey or Oscar or Finn or Poe or Finn. It won't deal with these characters that are that trigger so many people. So that's all I have to say.
But I know, but at the same time, I'm and I'm sorry, this episode isn't supposed to be about this, but I have big feelings on this.
It's okay, man.
You're right, Scott. Dude, I agree with you 100%. I hate that we have to even say, well, the Skywalker stuff's done so we can finally move on. Because I love the Skywalker stuff. That's the reason this whole universe is amazing. We love it.
Yes.
And you don't have to like everything about it. You don't. And you don't have to even be pleasant about it. You could complain on your own thing, but be respectful to other people and especially creators and stuff. You don't have to be the whole theme of my post was you don't have to be a racist or misogynistic or homophobic person to be causing trouble.
Yes.
Look, you may not be racist, you may not be homophobic, you may not be misogynistic.
Yes.
You may be very tolerant, but people still don't like it when you're a dick.
Exactly.
So just please don't be a dick. That's all anybody is asking. That's all they say because you're using the same exact techniques as that group that we all really don't care for. And yeah, just go ahead, unsubscribe. I feel like we're like a Alex Jones or something right now or something, just you don't believe the lizard men are out to get us? Well, unsubscribe.
That's a pretty good
here.
Alex Jones.
I'm gonna beat your A.
That's a pretty good Alex Jones.
I've never really done it before, and I'm kind of embarrassed that I did really good.
That was good. There's babies. That's actually not bad either. There's babies being harvested. And
all you really got to do is pretend like you've got an entire hawk of ham in your throat.
There's babies being harvested.
Talk through that. There's a baby. He's being roasted over a spit. By the lizards.
By lizard people.
You put on your tinfoil. Put on your tinfoil, people.
What is the-
wear your tinfoil hat and underwear?
What's it? Is that the feds? I forget like his phrase. The feds don't want you to know.
I don't know his phrase. He's got a phrase.
It's like
I love that video where someone did a montage of him chasing after that kid across the the intersection.
That's amazing.
It's like, get back here.
Oh my god.
He sounds like a pro wrestler. That's honestly, that's what it is. It's like just take Macho Man Randy Savage and add a little dash of what's a polite word? I think the polite word is we should probably move on to something more positive, Scotty. I think we should get the positive vibes flowing, don't you think?
I think so. And
I think we should.
And
I think that we should take this podcast all the way to 420ville, baby. Is that a thing? I'm not a part of that scene. I don't know.
No,
I think it's a thing.
I think it is a thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's get a premium dime bag of Padawan Express and just go off to Comfortville. Everywhere's a Ville. Every town I come up with has Ville as the last.
Villerzone.
The last. Villerzone.
Villerzone, bruh. No, y'all. It is so
Zoneville.
amazing to go into uncharted territory. It feels like a kid in a candy store. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done like the refresh a page thing in quite some time. Like clicking refresh on the Twitter to like see what the next post is gonna be. I was keeping up with Star Wars Explained and some really like Disney like lights, magic, and sound. Some weird page that like was reporting on it. And Amy Ratcliffe. Is that her name? I think I was doing her as well. Yeah, I was keeping up with everyone on Twitter.
Amy.
It was amazing. It was so much fun with everything dropping and like I don't know.
My good personal friend Amy, as you know.
Yes.
That's who that is.
You're Biffle. My favorite one was the what's the SNL man's name?
What season? No.
No. He was
one?
there. He was there.
Oh! You're talking about a Star Wars SNL man.
Yes.
And I think I don't know if there's any of those actually on the show right now, but you're talking about Bobby Moynihan, correct?
Yes, he went on and he said the only movie he saw was The Phantom Menace. And I think it's one of the funniest comments of the whole panel. He went up there, he's like, well, the only movie I've seen is The Phantom Menace. And it's just like,
oh my gosh.
The idea of that, like, to like intro yourself, like the idea of that is freaking hilarious. Imagine if you were like so invested in the fandom and the only movie you've seen is The Phantom Menace. It's your only concept of Star Wars.
Right.
Oh, it's funny.
I just really like Baby Anakin.
Yeah.
So.
Well, much like the
goodness.
prequels, this new storytelling of Star Wars is all new territory, and I am beyond excited to know that we're going down this journey. And like the biggest like reveal, honestly, of this whole thing was that this is the first phase of it. So I think there's going to be like a 3-phase or a 4-phase arc of this storytelling, this conjoined storytelling, which I think it's so cool that these authors approached Kathleen Kennedy about it, and it was more of like a thing that they desired to do. Rather than like a thing that was mandated of them. You got to write the next Han Solo novel. You need to write the Ahsoka novel. I feel like that this was more of like why don't we tell a story we've never heard before? And I think that was
a good Kathleen Kennedy, by the way.
Was it? We gotta go.
I'm joking. Yeah,
this is what the feds don't want you to know.
Completely joking. It's like if Kathleen Kennedy and Alex Jones were if they made a clone out of both their DNA.
Are.
If the lizard men, if the reptilians made like a clone of Alex Jones and Kathleen Kennedy like mixed together, that's exactly what they would sound like.
I'm about to get real Gerald on this podcast. If the Nordic Whites or the Greys, I know.
Oh man, I've been listening to a lot of.
I knew that would trigger you.
Stay tuned for our hilarious paranormal podcast.
Nordic Whites. Anyway, I knew you would get that.
Otherwise known as space racists.
Yes. With blonde hair and blue eyes. Okay, so very beautiful.
They love the Nazis.
Don't they love
Anyway, I've listened to a lot of that stuff this week. So
did you?
It's
been a while since I've gone down that rabbit hole.
Last podcast on the left. Be careful, you will slip in and not come out. It's like a vortex. But they're on Spotify. Anyway,
okay.
That's enough plugging for other podcasts. So we should go.
Okay,
we should keep talking about our topic.
I'm sorry. Back to my Kathleen Kennedy. It's so cool that this idea was like approached the way it was, and like these authors went to Skywalker Ranch and collaborated on what they wanted to see out of new Star Wars stories, and I think it happened in like March of like 2018. So. That was like around the time Solo was like doing its marketing. That's a long time ago. Like think about that. That was a while back. Isn't that crazy?
And it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
That's nuts.
It was. I remember them, and I mean, they got back together. I remember them talking about where they like sat around a fire and stuff. You remember them like talking about that, and they were like talking about what Star Wars is, and the whole Project Luminous thing. And they were like, "We're going to announce it, and it's going to start dropping in 2020."
I thought it was Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary, and part of me still really wishes.
Me too.
That it was a certain point of view for, I want a certain point of view for every single Star Wars film.
We might get an announcement. We might. I don't know.
We might. But again, because they're going to do more than the High Republic.
Yes.
But that's going to be kind of the new big era that they're really going to be pushing, and that's still cool. That first image released.
Oh, how cool!
Remember the one got leaked before, where it was just a close up of the Wookiee Jedi
man.
Whatever that character, the character who looks like what is the actor, the current Doctor Who? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting her name. Jodie Whittaker.
Yes.
Right? She looks like Jodie Whittaker or
people can say Brie Larson.
Oh, Brie Larson. Yeah, or Brie Larson. Either one of them could play her easy.
Which we'll get into later, by the way, our listeners right here in this segment. Jerry and I are going to speculate on what the next film release was, because we had anticipated mentally, at least I know we discussed this in private, we thought, and I think Eric, Troy, everyone we've had on the show, I've discussed with each one of them, we were convinced the High Republic would be an era in Star Wars storytelling, not just a book concept, a linear book thing. We thought it would be like a whole section of films, possibly, other multimedia stuff, but it's not. It's video game. We thought it was a giant initially, which was leaked by Making Star Wars, that it was going to be a big, and it still could be. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't.
And no. All I'm saying is I listened to Now This Is Podcasting this last week. They just came back.
Yeah.
And he was talking about it, how that's the I think the word he was getting was that it was that. But that it's still that might be the plan, that it is going to expand into other media. But we're starting with right books. Off the bat with books, comics, young reader, all that stuff. So
definitely exciting still. Definitely exciting.
Dude, yeah.
But that's the thing.
And
this idea of being 200 years before the Phantom Menace is really kind of wicked. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
very unexpected.
It's really cool. Did you see? Let's see. I don't know if you probably. No, you. I don't think you. You've read the last issue of The Rise of Kylo Ren.
Mm-mm.
Have you seen the picture of? It's someone opened a holocron and there's a blonde Jedi.
Yes.
It looks exactly like the
the Jedi in the front of
Jodie
the
Whittaker
novel.
on the front of the High Republic novel with the
Yes.
Wookiee, which is not the first Wookiee Jedi. I mean, technically, I guess it could be before 200 years before. But
Canonically.
don't you dare throw shade on Gungi.
No.
Don't you dare throw shade on my Gungi.
No, Gungi's a wonderful
Gungi
weirdo.
is a precious Gungi. Yeah, well, and Gungi is just like a precious baby that I will protect with my life. So
Gungi.
you leave my Gungi alone.
Oh,
Anyway,
God,
I'm being very
Gungi.
belligerent tonight.
No. It's just interesting
Gungi.
to Brah. It's just interesting to like be able to, think about this new era of storytelling, and I don't know. I loved all the BTS, save the bonus features, but like I loved all the footage and stuff they dropped of like the dry erase board that everyone, of course, Star Wars fans, which is fine, is how we are, just like screenshotted everything on it, posting it, and all the things. It was cool. They did one that was like already in, already. I think it was like storytelling already in Star Wars, new to Star Wars. I think that might have been maybe the top 3 sections. I don't remember, but I love the one that was like new for Star Wars and all the things listed. And there's so many good ones that you can find, and one of the best ones was dinosaurs, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it.
That was my favorite thing that some people were upset with, too, because I'm like... And it's funny, they said... Was that under the new to Star Wars port?
Yes.
Portion?
Yes.
Really? Because it's like, I feel like dinosaur-like creatures have been, like, everywhere.
Oh, totally.
Since the frickin' holiday special, man. Boba Fett rides up on a plesiosaur.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Exactly.
He shocks it with his tuning fork, which
Yes.
we later found out is, it's now a super cool disintegration.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. No, dude, but it's just so funny to me, like, that because, like, when I see Star Wars and dinosaurs, that's like the merging of so many of young Jerry's worlds.
Oh my God, it's
The only thing that'd be
amazing.
better is if they put Ghostbusters and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles into Star Wars as well. And
Mine
then,
would be
like, we're
Pokemon.
just done. So.
That would just
There you go.
It's all
There you
very
go.
absurd, but you never know.
Hey, you never know. Well, and one cool thing that I heard I forget which podcast I was listening to, where they were talking about how Star Wars is unique because it's a genre in and of itself
It
where
is.
you can do almost any genre inside of that genre.
That's true.
It's like a turducken of storytelling.
That's beautiful. Wow.
And I just, yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna crochet it on a pillow for you. The
Thank you,
turducken of
Gerald.
storytelling. So, you're welcome. No, just the look of the. What did you think of the look, though, Scotty? Have we talked about the look
In general
of the era of the Jedi?
it's amazing.
The look of the Jedi, the look of the sabers. There was hey man, shout out to our friend Scott Gibson, man, Scott
Yes.
Gibby. He was posting some close-ups, like going back and forth, talking about all of the lightsabers, that big long image.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw.
was
Yeah, of all the
great.
different lightsabers. There was a dark saber on there
Yes.
that was not the dark saber. I'm like, are we gonna, dude? Is Tar Vizsla gonna come into this?
Oh my God. Well, I want to get into that.
Are we gonna
after.
see the dude? Are we gonna see the dude? Okay, I'm getting into speculation town. I know we're gonna save
What?
that for later,
No,
but I have
whoa.
some crazy speculation. Well, are we going to start? Are we gonna see the Mandalorian Jedi Wars?
Ooh, I don't know when that would have taken place. I don't know canonically when that took place. Wow.
Well, and I don't think when they've mentioned it, they haven't. I don't know if there's been quite a time limit where they said, a couple thousand years ago we kicked your butts on Mandalore.
Yeah.
I remember Kanan kind of mentions it. Mandalore lost the war, all that stuff. So it could be because again, all we know is that they haven't encountered a Sith in a millennium.
That's true. That is 100% true. And that's one
So-
thing I would love to get into in a little bit about what is the Great Disaster, because it could be involving a dark side user. Maybe I don't know. It's this whole idea,
or
is,
just maybe someone found a Sith temple, which we know are most of
definitely.
the time used as super weapons.
Yes. God, I don't know. I guess to kind of
There's so much.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess the approach of this is going to be so unique and new and refreshing, and I don't know. It feels very feels like a very new marketing way. I don't know. It of course feels like it's repetitive of Shadows of the Empire, but it's not. I know it's not.
Right.
It just feels like it, and it's nice because I think Star Wars fans need a new cohesive story, okay? And now that we've been established that Disney can do it, we've established that these writers are good enough to do it. Obviously, they chose 5 of the greatest Star Wars writers, at this point.
Yeah.
At this point, and I just think it was it's a great initiative. And even if we don't get a movie or a video game out of it, I still honestly, it feels so exclusive. It feels like Star Wars fans are going to read it, and most people aren't going to report on it, which is actually really nice and new. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And you know what dawned on me, Jerry? I haven't talked to you about this. Dude, this book comes out 2 days before Celebration. The first one. Think about that.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember hearing that, but now, like...
August 25th.
Holy crap, man.
Yes.
Well, I know what I'm going to listen to on the plane.
Dude, me too. And I kept thinking that, like, I'm going to buy it the 25th, and hopefully, like, I don't know, I'll find a way to listen to it, like, a huge chunk of it, just so when I get to the convention itself, we can all talk about it, or hopefully there'll be new droppings of stuff by then, the next phase of it. I don't know. It's so cool. I guess I'm so optimistic about it, and it generally... okay, this is my point of view, and people disagree with it. Disney Lucasfilm has not done a single thing where I've been like, oh, it sucks, poo-poo, I'm never going to join you, and I'm never going to join you. No, but like this new storytelling is just so exciting, man. I guess I'm pumped about it. I really am. It's just refreshing.
Yeah, I am too. It's I don't know. Yeah, I have been in the same boat, like guys, those of you who listen to us, me and Scott are generally pretty positive about all this stuff. It doesn't mean that we don't have things we don't care for. I mean, absolutely, everybody has that, but I don't know, man. I'm with you. I'm excited for it. I mean, I honestly, I have to say, I would be more excited if it actually was an Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, me too.
But maybe a certain point of view.
But maybe we need
But that's
this.
because, again, we 100% need this, and they need to go and I know, like, some people are like, wait, we're just going back 200 years? I don't. It's interesting. It's interesting to see, because that does interest me. What is going on before the Sith show up? What are the Jedi doing?
Yep.
I think we're 100% seeing Jedha in its prime. I think we're seeing a lot of... Because I think that was in some of the promo images. They're not Jedha, but... the trailer. The concept art. They were showing, like, giant statues of Jedi. Yeah. Maybe we get to see... the Jedi... I don't know. They said they're like the Knights of the Round Table.
Yes, like Arthurian.
Kind of things and stuff, which is... And... Okay, real quick shout out to how much I enjoyed, and I had a tweet that like didn't go viral, but a lot of people like really posted their sentiments on it too, about how we all miss frickin' Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter.
Oh my god, it was. So
I think
nice
I said I really miss Pablo's snarky tweets and
I miss how dry he is.
Transformers drawings and his Simpsons memes.
Yes.
I miss it. I miss Pablo. I just miss Pablo.
Me too, man. So, and it's kind of I don't know. It's nice to know that all these people are working on this together, especially him being involved, and I think we need it. And to kind of go back to what you were saying, 100%. Jerry, like Jedha and everything. One thing I think can show back up that no one's, at least I haven't been reading or listening to that many podcasts as of late, but no one's been reporting on the fact that we could get Jabba even in this, because Jabba's like 600 years old or something. He's very old. But by the time he's in the...
How old is he? And I'm the canon junkie. I've got to like look it up or something. I don't know if it's been officially set in canon. But I don't know either, back in the day, before everything, like they could live like over... Like a baby Hutt stayed in the womb for over 1,000 years, apparently.
Yeah, they said he's about 600 years old. So I don't know.
Yeah, man. It's I don't know. He old. He can show up.
Yeah.
He can be a little... Oh, what if he's a little Huttlet like Rada?
Oh, that would be sick.
Jabba's daddy.
That would
Jabba's
be great.
Daddy.
And you never know, they might need to go to Tatooine, or even like the fact that we can get Chewie's Force-sensitive parents. It's going to be so cool.
Yeah, man.
Because, Chewie, in order to fly the Millennium Falcon, he needs to be able to use the Force. So that's obvious.
Wait. What?
Chewie's force sensitive because Chewie's a Jedi. That was Chewbacca. That was Chewbacca's dad in the thing. The cover.
Oh, okay. Because you said that so like this is an undisputed fact that Chewbacca was like force sensitive and stuff, and I.
Well, he was.
Is this a real thing?
Don't correct me.
What's
on the
going
pod,
on?
Please.
I won't correct you. I won't correct you. I just don't. I'm like I didn't know this was a thing, and I'm kind of like confused. So
anyway,
yeah, sure.
So we could even
he's got to be, with how he like stopped those missiles with the Force.
Yeah.
In TLJ, it was a late edition, but I think it really worked out.
It was really cool. So. No one answered. Could you imagine if I just want to I have to bring it up. We're watching TLJ and like something's flying towards Chewie and he literally like extends his arm out and stops with the Force. What do you think the fandom would do? Like what it would just implode. It would be insane.
I think they'd probably go, well, I think a lot more people than do it usually after every movie. Would probably go, all right, it's jump the shark. It's jump the shark. Okay, sure. I don't know. Depends, but then again, execution, baby. It's just all in the execution, so, yeah.
Never know. But anyway, I mean, like, some other things we can think about is, like, are the Sith, like, hiding, I mean, they've been hidden for 1,000 years. Who's to say they haven't been hiding?
I'm wondering if we're going to see them kind of in charge of who. And I'm forgetting that we're going to talk about them later. But the new threat in the galaxy, or the threat that the Jedi are kind of combating in this new era. I think it is just one of the threats. Too.
Think about it. If I'm not mistaken, by the time the Phantom Menace happens, Palpatine's like what, in his 50s or 60s? So like. We could easily get Plagueis. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know anything. I know Plagueis is not canon.
Possibly.
But we could get, like, something involving that. Because we know the Sith have always been around. They've been hiding.
Right.
So, you're right. They could be in control of this new pirate-based, militia. Or they could be in charge of some sort of other dark side realm. I think it's interesting because... The big overall question that Kathleen Kennedy asked the writers was, what are the Jedi afraid of? And I want to get into that in a little bit, but like, I don't know, Jerry, like what are some other things you're like really looking forward to about this, besides that it's fresh and new? Is there anything canonically you're looking forward to?
Gosh, I had like some thoughts about like characters I think could show up or storylines we could see. I think the Tar Vizsla stuff and the Mandalorian Wars are probably really striking my fancy right now. Like we'll see if it shows up, but it is kind of interesting the way they were describing it of more cavalier Jedi who were more. We thought they were that way in the prequels, but then it turned out they were more of they ended up being more bureaucratic,
exactly,
of a bureaucratic organization and more I don't know, like. Bogged down in kind of the tradition and rigmarole of they lost their way. They had lost their way by the time the prequels showed up.
And it's so
by
funny.
the time they showed up in Phantom Menace.
We had been mentally...
but just to see, I don't know.
We've
crazy,
been mentally
what a Jedi is.
By that Obi-Wan quote that, when he was a Jedi, like, it was wonderful and it was very peaceful and there was no issues. But it's really kind
for
of
over
cool.
1,000 generations,
Yes, and that's another thing
love
that
that
kind
line
of
still.
Well, that's what triggered a lot of what this novels are going to be about. You know what I mean? So I'm just really looking forward to something refreshing and new and like maybe getting, and obviously we're going to get a really cool looking spaceport or something that almost looks like the top of the Jedi Temple, which is kind of interesting, but I don't know.
See, wait, okay, now I guess I haven't, okay, I'm going to admit something here.
Okay.
If I can actually say words. I haven't, I think, read an official press release. I think I just watched the trailer and, like, read tweets. So, yeah, I'm real prepared. But, no, I heard nothing about this spaceport you talk about.
Oh, but it's a beautiful spaceport that's, like, on the cover of every novel. And, like, I don't know if that has to do with the Great Disaster, but if you really look at, like, the design of it, it looks like the top of the Jedi Temple. Like, it looks like like where the masters would meet. It looks at the very top of it in a
Right.
really weird way. But no, with that being
Interesting.
yeah, it is interesting. It's pretty cool. But yeah, no, I do agree with that, Jerry. The fact that like this whole new, I guess, era of storytelling could really maybe even make more mysteries too, or possibly reveal stuff about what we know so far in canon. It's wicked.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really awesome to see.
There's a lot of potential, and again, it looks, just the look is cool. It reminds me, I remember seeing some art that people had drawn from the EU of, I think it was the Jedi post Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And they wore more flowy clothes.
Yeah.
Like, almost like what you would see Errol Finn wear in like a old 1930s like Robin Hood movie or something, is what it reminded me of. It reminded me of like something, from William Shakespeare.
Of course.
But it's almost more, I forget who said this. Someone was saying it looks almost Greek. Like they almost look like Grecian heroes.
Socrates.
And just the whole idea of them being more like the Knights of the Round Table and stuff, which is why, of course, they're the Jedi Knights. Mm-hmm. And to see them as less of a organization, maybe, and more of a more of a religion, or more of a just what would you say, a band of chivalrous knight.
Yes.
Out protecting the galaxy.
Well, I'm hoping we get. I hope this is a weird thing, but like Jerry and I have discussed it heavily in this podcast. The most Jedi of them all is Qui-Gon Jinn, obviously, but like Rey kind of embodied the Jedi spirit without having to be a super, bureaucratic Jedi.
Right.
And I hope what we get with
I think I changed my opinion on that a couple episodes ago. I think I am. Rey is the most Jedi to ever Jedi.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, no, and I hope we get a novel, or all the novels filled with Jedis that are the most Jedi to Jedi. Because,
well,
it...
Do you think we're going to get a dyad?
You know what? Honestly, which I want to get into, of course, in the later discussion about where is this going to end up going, or where could the movies go. I think the dyad thing's going to show back up, maybe in.
I think
a
so too.
different
I think they're
story.
setting stuff up, maybe to explain it more or something. But
True.
you were going somewhere, and I decided to throw a stick in your bicycle.
I guess what I was
tires,
trying to get at is you know what? I almost forgot it. Hold on. Let me recoup in my brain. What was I saying, Gerald?
No, it's fine. You were talking about the Jedi. You were talking about the Jedi.
Yeah. So the idea of these Jedi being, not so bureaucratic. Maybe we don't know that, but from what I want to hope, what I hope for this, and I won't be let down if it's not like this, but. It'd be really cool to get a book of nothing but Qui-Gon kind of people. Trust in your feelings. You don't have to meditate on everything. You remember that you have these feelings for a reason. And maybe we'll even see the prophecy of the chosen one being read. Just weird things that we didn't think we'd end up getting. And I hope we really do get something really interesting. And of course we're gonna get Yoda. Maybe we'll get a Yoda. Maybe a more of a. Not even sharp-witted, but more of a not as wise Yoda in this. A Yoda that's kind of more goofy.
Right.
And you got to think he's seen so many Jedi. Maybe we'll get character types we've seen before, and Yoda knows how to handle them. Knows how to maybe we get a hot-headed Jedi like Anakin, and Yoda's gonna.
Yeah.
Yoda might have made a mistake with that Jedi from 200 years ago that he wants to do different with Anakin now. And I think there's really beautiful things you can do with having a really well-established character already. So I'm honestly, I'm such an I've always been open-minded, but I'm super open-minded about this because it's not dealing with anyone we know and love already. It's not another Thrawn novel, So I'm I'm looking for. And I hope
feels.
What, Jerry? I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I think everyone's thinking little kid Padawan Yoda, but I don't think we're going to get that. I think he's going to be middle-aged by this time.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
if it's just 200 years before. So I'm looking forward to seeing maybe Yoda with less wrinkles and maybe Nicolas Cage's hairstyle. Maybe like Nick Cage when he goes and does like Con Air,
Yeah.
you know, where he's got like a widow's peak, but it's still like a freaking sweet, like, you know,
Yeah.
mane behind his head. So anyway,
I'm just
go on.
excited to see
That'd be
how
pretty
they
cool.
kick it all off, because it's Charles Soule with the first novel, and look, I'll do that real quick because we haven't really discussed what is coming out.
Right?
So,
yeah. What are all of these novels coming
the
out?
first
Scott?
novel to release is on August 27th, and it's already available for pre-order, and it's Charles Soule's The High Republic: Light of the Jedi, and apparently people have read certain excerpts from it, other authors have, and they said it's absolutely incredible. It's like what brings back hope in Star Wars, and I don't know what that means, but apparently it's a lot of good things. And like on the cover alone, you got 2 blue lightsabers, a green one and a gold one, being held by what almost looks like a Twi'lek, maybe. I can't tell, but like
Yeah,
it's just,
that's what I was thinking. And you've got like the crossguard lightsaber too with but it's not. I don't. It's like got a crossguard, but it's not an actual like Kylo Ren crossguard.
Yes.
It's like the actual metal or something.
awesome.
Dude, the lightsaber designs. There's one that is like it was someone with a saber that had 2 blades, 2 thin blades coming up from the same hilt. 2 white blades. I made up that, dude. I drew that thing when I was in middle school, or when I was like 10 years old. I dreamed up. Oh, that's one they haven't done, you know, like with Darth Maul and all that. Like after that, I'm like, where could they go now? Oh yeah, 2 blades on the same one hilt going the same way. It's just crazy to see it in real life now.
Yeah.
But no, man, where can they go?
I don't know.
It's
well, like this is the cool part.
It's limitless, honestly.
When you keep reading and looking at the stuff, there's one that's it's Star Wars: The High Republic. It's going to be a novel. It's going to be a whole comic series, and it's by Cavan Scott. And on the cover of that one, I don't know if this is the permanent cover or one of the first edition covers, but it's a photo of what appears to almost look like a Dathomirian holding something, and then a Twi'lek with their faces concealed with this weird steampunk looking like plague doctor mask. I don't know, and it looks incredible. But yeah, I think this is going to be our villains. They're called Niles, like nihilism, like don't
The
believe in
Nihists,
anything.
Niles,
We're
yeah.
Niles. We don't believe in anything. Good old Lebowski joke.
I love how Pablo, or I guess it may not have been exactly Pablo who made this statement, but how they kind of describe them as almost like Vikings.
Yeah.
Like if you have it, we can take it.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting with this whole. This is almost going to feel like a Lewis and Clark like exploration. Like
Yes.
they're out exploring the galaxy.
Yes.
And keeping the peace, and we're running into these. Basically, the Hun.
Mm-hmm.
We're running into these. We're running into these raiders.
Yes.
Who just they think that everything is theirs and stuff. Maybe they worship death or something.
Dude.
I don't know. I'm making it up as I go.
That's
now.
good though. I like it. And then the next one's going to be High Republic Adventures, which I believe it's an IDW publishing. Looks more like a kid, maybe a kid. What do they call it? A graphic novel kind of thing. It's a comic, but.
Yeah, the IDW, like the Star Wars Adventures kind of style.
And it's got 2 characters named Forzaza and then Lula. So looks really cool. Looks like a species of it. Might look like Zeb species almost a little bit. But yeah, it's.
Oh man,
they don't have a release date for all the other ones. I don't think. I know they're all. I guess planned to be released from the same exact time. The next one is The High Republic: A Test of Courage by Justina Ireland, which is more of a middle grade novel. Pretty cool. Got a pre-order. It's got an Anakin looking dude on there with a cape, by the way, blue lightsaber and a cape, and some old droid, and that looks like the one from Maz's Cantina. So pretty cool.
Ooh.
Yeah. The next novel, which this is the most 90s of them all, the 90s looking of them all, and it's by Claudia Gray, which is really cool. It's called Star Wars: The High Republic Into the Dark by Claudia Gray, a young adult novel, and the cover of it. I'm actually gonna save it real quick and send it to you, Jerry. I know you've seen it, but like, it's so 90s looking.
No, just all those covers are
like this one in particular.
They feel so EU.
Yeah, they do.
Feel expanded,
and it's
universe.
nice. I really do like it.
I was never like super deep dive into the EU, but I've read stuff from it, and I had like the compendiums and all that stuff, like the books before the visual dictionaries.
Yeah.
And, it's just cool to see some imagery.
Oh, definitely.
That harkens back to that kind of mid '90s. We never thought we were going to get anything on screen ever again. You know,
Isn't that crazy?
What would it look? You know, like, and the sky was just the limit.
Yeah, man.
That's what this really feels like. Is the sky is the limit.
It's something we need to have as Star Wars fans, and I don't know, like the big thing that was raised and the kind of thing that triggered this whole discussion for not only us, but like for obviously the people that were working on this and the collaborative process they did, was the idea of like what would kind of start this storytelling. You know what I mean? What would be the thing? And the idea Kathleen Kennedy kind of pitched to him was, what are the Jedi afraid of? And Jerry, I mean, can you name like 3 things the Jedi would be afraid of? Realistically, you know, I know it can get goofy, but like, what would be something that would scare the Jedi? Because the Jedi I know were, I mean, they didn't know they should be scared of anything. So I think it's very interesting. You know, they thought they were always in charge. But Jerry, what are some things that the Jedi should be scared of, essentially?
I don't know if we're not going to be goofy. I would probably say maybe darkness from within, from within the Jedi themselves.
Yeah, that's beautiful, actually.
And again, I don't know. We're closer to like the conflict, the conflict between the Sith and the Jedi that happened millennia ago. You know, like there was war and all kinds of stuff going on between them, and it is kind of crazy that we're still not back there. So you got to wonder what they're saving.
Yeah,
like if they're going to just make things canon, or if they're going to straight up just be like, no, man, we're doing something. We got something crazy planned.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where the films go. Who knows?
Maybe.
You know, who knows?
Maybe.
But
you raise a good point.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
It's the idea of like I mean, of course, the darkness within is obviously something that happened in the prequels. There was a lot of darkness, and the cloud of the future is, you know, everything about this, that the Clone Wars was really just clouded and foggy and not right, and like maybe that's one thing.
Well, and you wonder what made them so dogmatic.
Exactly.
You know, too. Like the whole they were so afraid that this 10-year-old boy had anger.
Yeah.
Like, and we can't have attachments. We can't have stuff. Like, do we have those same rules?
No, exactly. Dude, you bring up a great point, because imagine if I mean, the Jedi in its own weird way, in its own kind of first order way, they would, you know, if the kid was force sensitive, they'd request to have it and train it, you know, from a child up. And maybe we'll get a really cool, like, you know, and I know Jerry and I have studied theology and studied the history of probably not just the Catholic Church, but Christianity as a whole, but like, maybe we'll get some crazy crusade-esque things with, like, you know, like they are like pillaging and taking kids for the sake of their faith, and we might actually get a little bit of a dark side. Like, maybe they are against that in the High Republic, but by the time
maybe there's less of like a centralized council or something, and maybe it's more of like groups. Like we're not as it's not as like there probably is still a council, but they're like, you know, yeah, we're out. That group's doing their thing. We're doing this, and
maybe there's no rank.
Maybe they have to take a group down. Maybe a group goes too far. They're the Saw Gerrera's partisans of the High Republic era.
Well, think about that. If there was no rank
Jedi,
either, if there was no Jedi
dangerous.
Masters, Jedi Knights, I mean, Padawans are always going to be a thing, or the idea of having a Master and Apprentice are going to be a thing. But the whole idea behind even having like a Jedi Knight versus a Jedi Master versus a Jedi Librarian or whatever. Maybe everyone has their own communal role, and obviously, I mean, actually, I can't say that. If I'm not mistaken, Coruscant was mentioned to be like a lot of where the hub is. Like what will happen, you know, a lot of what will be happening is on Coruscant. Or the bad things are outside of Coruscant. I don't know. I want to see Coruscant.
It's like the farther you get out in the universe, you know. Yeah, I think that's what they said. You know, kind of like in the untamed territories.
Yes,
so to speak.
Well, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of a cool idea to think like New York City. Right now, in the year 2020 is incredible. It's a super highly advanced. It's like beautiful and big. But you got to think, if it was 200 years ago or 100 years ago, quote unquote, New York City in the year 1820 or 1920 is so extremely different than the New York City we have now. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and maybe we'll even approach it from that way. And I know Star Wars is really kind of rooted in the future. It's a lot of futuristic tech, but we might even get things that, like, you know, obviously don't exist. Maybe hyperspace could be a fairly new thing, you know, for some people, and it could be something that only certain groups have. But like, I love this rabbit hole we can go down, thinking about what can be new to these readers and these characters that is so common for us. You know what I mean? I think it's really kind of cool.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. And I don't know. There is so much that can be done with a topic like this, and I don't know, man. The future seems bright, and they are the art, the covers for these things.
That whole
it looks bright as well. Like you said, the reignition of hope or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's completely uncharted territory.
Yes.
You know? Like it's. I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Me too, man. And I don't know. I guess to answer the question back, I'm sorry, we kind of went on a tangent there, but what are the Jedi afraid of? I think the Jedi are not only afraid of... I think they're afraid once they get this power, they're going to lose it. And, like, anything when it gets too powerful will fall. And obviously the Jedi did fall, and they fell very hard, you know? And
right.
I hopefully we'll get a Jedi that are, like, trying to build up their, you know... the respect in the galaxy around them, and maybe they're trying to spread the word of the Jedi. That's why there's, you know, like what's his name? Chirrut Imwe is a follower of the Jedi Order, you know, in its own weird way. It's a different faction of it.
Right.
So maybe we get even like an evangelicist kind of approach to the Force and studying the light side of the Force versus the dark side. So I think I don't know. I think it's gonna be really cool. And the Jedi are a lot of common, I guess, real world religions are. Most of them are afraid to be, like, thrown out, or like being hypocrites, you know, or having a I'm sorry, I can't say the word hypocrisy to them.
Hypocrite.
You know, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think
100%.
I think the Jedi maybe are afraid to be seen as hypocrites, and I think that might be something that's really kind of more of a thematic approach to this rather than like what are they literally afraid of. Because I don't know, Jerry and I, maybe that's just how we are as people, but we don't tend to like really go like they're scared of big ghost people. No, they're really, I think Star Wars has always been about the big theme.
Right.
It's always been about the big theme, and like if that's the way they approached it, what are the Jedi afraid of? Well, they're afraid of just like any big group, they're afraid of a lot of things. Exposure, too much exposure, people knowing their secrets. So maybe we'll get...
maybe they're afraid to get power.
Yeah.
Maybe they're afraid that if they get power that they'll...
abuse it.
What'll happen is what happens.
Yes. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Maybe there's, are we going to get premonitions of the future of things going on? You know, I love that. That's my favorite thing in Clone Wars. Is when we kind of get hints at what's coming before. I know it's like we know what happens, but just to see people react to it in the universe is fascinating, and I love it, man.
Just
I
like
love
the
it
most
more
recent, for us at this moment of recording, the whole "Tell Padme I said hello" line, which is
my gosh, we didn't even talk about that. I can't believe we didn't talk about Clone Wars.
We'll do that later. We'll do it later. Well, stay tuned for the afterwatch. Afterwatch show, the After Arc show, because that's definitely going to be a thing. I have a feeling after this next episode, we're going to have to work that out.
Padme said hi. And that Rex knew. It's
amazing.
Rex effing knew the whole time. Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Anyway,
We did get some viewer submissions for this episode dealing with the High Republic, and Jerry, what did the wonderful Bombad people say on this week's Jakku Jargon?
Sorry, Scott. Sorry, I just can't help but dance every time I hear that sick Ray beat. It makes me want to It makes me want to go to the High Republic, baby. High Republic, brah.
You want to do the Jakku Jitterbug? That's a very Cajun term.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sorry.
I want to give me your best. Give me your most pungent Jakku jargon. So,
Oof.
Here we go, guys. No, Jakku jargon is our mail segment. We ask you guys questions, and you maybe give us some responses that are entertaining. So this week we asked, all right, Bombad fam, what are you most looking forward to about the High Republic era? It could be one of the books announced, or just your excitement for exploring a new era. Tell us what and why here to get on the show. Hashtag Star Wars, hashtag Jakku jargon, hashtag Stay Bombad.
And keep in mind, anyone can do this. If you haven't done it yet, please join us in for Jakku jargon. It's always on Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah. Twitter and Facebook on our group. You know what? I'll start posting it on
The page too?
the Instagram, the Insta.
There you
Who
go.
knows? We got to see. But anyway, first up in Jakku jargon is our good buddy Seth Parnell at Galenorian Saber. I'm terrible. Seth. I'm sorry. At Galenorian Saber. And so he posted a picture of that infamous board.
Yes.
It is almost as infamous as the whiteboard in the beginning the documentary about the Phantom Menace, the beginning.
Where George with the highlighters.
Where George goes through real, not real,
3,400.
I'm going to make this one out of Triscuits. But anyway, the second most infamous whiteboard of Star Wars fandom. And he said, he circled it in the picture and said one word, dinosaurs.
Yep.
And he had a couple dinosaur emojis. And Seth, I got to tell you, buddy, that's actually 3 words. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, one word, dinosaurs, man. How can you not be excited about that?
I don't know. I would love if it was approached from like a Force kind of perspective, like we gotta tame them to use them kind of thing, kind of like they did in Mandalorian.
What if we get like a mythosaur?
Oh God, you've got a good point.
In the comics or something.
Didn't they get
again?
hunted to extinction?
What if the Mandalorians are fighting them on a bunch of mythosaurs?
Oh, Gerald. That would be good. No, I love
you guys. You guys are all salivating. All y'all are salivating out there in listener land, aren't you? You're like, oh my gosh, give me the Mandalorian stuff.
That's great.
I was never like huge on it until after the Mandalorian, man.
Isn't that funny?
Rebels. I don't know, man. Since Clone Wars, man. Since Clone Wars and the stuff with like Satine and all that, like, but I don't know.
Yeah.
All that to say, Seth. Man, we're with you.
Oh, dude, 100%.
More dinosaurs in Star Wars. Just let it happen. Let it happen. Scotty, who else wrote in to our lovely segment?
Another friend of the Bombadcast, Jacob Evans at Valorious80 said, I'm just looking forward to all new Star Wars era that I can hopefully keep up with. I also already pre-ordered the first 3 novels. So I completely agree. It's just like, it's so nice to know that it's a whole new era and like that it's something we like. Of course, we got greats like Star Wars Explained and Star Wars Newsnet and like all these wonderful people that do this part for us. But this is going to be probably the first time for me, at least, that I'm going to make it a point to read each thing. And just like, I want to actually do it because it's almost like they're starting over again in a weird way. Like back in 2013 or 14 when the Ahsoka novel came out and all those other novels came out, I wasn't reading in Star Wars at that point. But now that they're going into this new era, I really am going to try my best to read most of these novels or at least listen to them. So Mark Thompson, I hope your vocal cords are ready, but I have a lot of work coming to you soon. For real.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. I just love the way he says that.
Me too.
Mark, if you know Mark, or Mark, if you were listening yourself, I don't want to get too high and mighty, but sir, do you record that every single time, or is it the same exact one that they use, kind of like they do on the Kind of like they reuse like the opening crawl music on every soundtrack, but it's like different in every film than the actual. Release the actual soundtracks, you cowards. Release the film versions. just do it. Sorry, that's my soapbox, man.
That's a fantastic submission because like this will be
it's
for
amazing.
Me, and hopefully Jerry as well. Maybe we'll even end up having coverage of this, but like I am really looking forward to this new phase of storytelling because it really is going to be a phase. It's going to be Marvel-esque with its releases and all the tie-ins that there are going to be between novels and stuff. It's going to be really there's going to be a lot of payoff knowing how well how great these writers are. There's going to be so much payoff to what we're going to get. But I believe we have one more, Gerald. Who is our last submission for this episode?
Our last submission is from a classic member of the Bombad fam, a listener from back in the day.
Yes.
I'm talking about Jacob, not Evans, although we love him too. He's been with us since back in the day as well. But Jacob at Chodnazoop.
Chodnazoop.
What is up, Chodnazoop? Chodnazoop. Yeah, we should just start doing that. Zoop. There he is. Here we go. But no, Jacob said, all of these I am so ready for. He posted a picture. I'll read it in a second. But he said, ready for it. Really curious about the Nile and the Great Disaster.
Yes.
The Nile. It's the Nile. Nihil. I think it's Nile or something.
Nile?
So our new villains and stuff and the Great Disaster. What are those? It's very intriguing, very provocative.
It is.
But also, listen to these. There's like 4 things that he zoomed in on that whiteboard and posted a picture of, and they're very interesting. And it's things that we've kind of talked about, Scott, but things that also the authors are apparently thinking about are rival houses.
Really cool. Mandalorian, kind of.
Insane. Well, Mandalorian or, like maybe a little Hogwartsy, a little Harry Potter. But maybe a little more like we were talking about splinter groups who maybe are a little more extreme than other Jedi,
Oh, that'd be awesome.
The Sith Empire, which I want to know all about that. I want to know all about the Sith Empire.
They know what they're doing with these boards, by the way. This is so Star Wars. Like even this early marketing campaign is so Star Wars. Like, let's just throw a bunch of things. They're gonna drive these fans crazy. And look, we're talking about it right here.
Oh my gosh. They completely have. I mean, well, and I love my second favorite thing. Oh no, actually this is my favorite thing, and the people being mad about dinosaurs is my second favorite thing. My first favorite thing is the authors really playing up the fact that they're talking about dinosaurs.
Yes.
Like Charles Soule and Daniel Jose Older.
It's amazing.
Like Daniel Jose Older, or I forget who, like they retweeted, like someone posted a GIF of someone dressed in that T-Rex inflatable outfit, that is like in every YouTube video ever since like 2015. And Barney the dinosaur, someone in a Barney the dinosaur outfit, like fighting on a street corner, and said dinosaurs in Star Wars. I want it so bad.
Me too.
Give me all of it. Okay, so the Sith Empire, Chaos Agents, which is very provocative.
Very interesting.
What is going on there? We don't know. We do not know. And of course, last but not least, last but not loose is, I think, another chapter in the Dooku erotic novel. But last but not least on this just provocative list of, I don't know, like so many, I want that I got to go study that whiteboard, man.
Yeah, me too.
But the last one, Splinter Group Force Users. Which again goes into the rival houses maybe a little bit. Maybe it's more like not Jedi but Force users who aren't maybe more like Knights of Ren and stuff like that.
It'd be nice. It would be refreshing
sizzle.
Get that.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Like and I was excited when they announced it, but now it's just like give this to us.
Oh, it's going to be a long wait. It's going to be a long wait, but I'm looking forward to it.
But yeah, man. Oh, and thank you guys also for sending in all your Bombad answers. You're just, I don't know, you guys are hilarious, and we love you, and we just thank you so much for participating in our hilarious antics.
Definitely.
Scotty, back to you.
Well, to kind of end this whole discussion and to kind of wrap things up, just a little bit. We might even talk about this for just 10 minutes. But, like, my big thing was, and I know Jerry and I discussed this, Eric and I discussed this, Troy and I discussed this, everyone that I know that loves Star Wars discussed this with me at least once, but it was the idea of this being a multimedia release. And it might be later down the line, but as of right now, it's not. Strictly book. Strictly publishing. They've been confirmations from Matt Martin, Pablo Hidalgo, everyone from the authors themselves to actual Lucasfilm execs and creatives saying this is strictly a publishing event. So, my thing I kind of want to end this on is where are these new slate of movies going to go? Because Disney actually released a new list of films coming out, and it said 2022, 2024, and 2026. So, what? Well, like, where are we going to go with this? Are we going to get Knights of Old Republic? Are we going to get stuff that takes place after the Skywalker saga? Are these going to be separate movies and not a trilogy? I'm just like, honestly, the next thing I'm waiting for, hopefully we'll get answers by Celebration or even before, what the hell are these new movies going to be about? Because 2022, it's a lot closer than most people realize. Like, obviously, dude, 2 years ago we heard about Project Luminous, the first little whispers of it. And here we are. Here we are now, you know? So anyway, Jerry, any interpretation?
Welcome to mortality, folks. Here it goes. It only gets faster from here. I think we are going to get information by the end of the year. They've got to have, that's got to be their big, like, reveal at Celebration this year, right?
Yeah.
It's just what the next film is going to be, at least.
The future of Star Wars.
If we get a slate... Can you imagine if we get a slate of what's coming out?
You know,
they don't have to stick to that. They don't have to stick to the movie every other year or something thing. They can change their mind. They have plenty of time to do so.
Of course.
So, I don't know. Part of me really wants it to be the Rian Johnson film, although I don't think it's going to be the first one back. But I'm just real optimistic for it. And I have, you guys probably saw, I don't know if I posted it yet when we're recording, but I'm probably going to post a picture of my Knives Out coffee mug.
Oh, yeah.
It's 20 ounces. It's the giant. I can almost fit my entire head inside of it. Yeah. But I've been on a big Knives Out kick, man, this last week. I love that film. I love Rian Johnson as a filmmaker. And I really want to see him tackle maybe some of this, some High Republic stuff.
Dude.
I really want to see him just go off in his own direction.
Me too.
Because...
he would benefit really well from that as a writer and as a creator, you know, and everyone else would benefit from it too because it's going to be great. If anything, I mean, there's been all kinds of weird rumors, and I don't want to get into the rumor discussion because apparently a lot of them aren't true, like the James Mangold situation with The Mandalorian and his involvement with the next movie, or the guy that did Slight, which I don't even know anything about, is going to be doing a Star Wars movie or something. It's like, I don't even want to discuss it because that's not the point of this final discussion. The point essentially is like, where could we go in the films? Like, are we going to go back or forward? And like, I'm almost lost for words. Maybe they'll do High Republic, which I almost would have wished they kicked it off with a novel. With a movie for the novels to follow. Because let's be honest, JJ did not play ball like Rian Johnson did, you know, with the novels and stuff and what was set up in the novels. Maybe a little bit he did, but other things he didn't. So I'm hoping if they do High Republic, it's going to be super cohesive and already in the works and not something that seems like, you know, Phil Lord and Chris Miller just drops it off and where Ron Howard's to come clean it up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want another situation like that. I'm so scared. And that actually sounds really lame and silly. I'm not scared. I don't want to deal with the crap that comes after it because it's going to be great regardless. But I'm just tired of the weird discourse over this kind of stuff. Yeah,
the discourse is tiring.
Yes,
I'm ready for that to go away.
Yes.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready for talking about Star Wars and disagreeing about Star Wars to go away.
No,
I'm ready for the discourse to go away.
Yes.
So, but you know what, guys? There's a bright future of High Republicness ahead of us, brah.
Brah.
And there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Star Wars is not dead. It's
No.
continuing on. We're going to be dead before Star Wars is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm really focusing on the mortality thing at the end of the episode, but here we are. Guys, just hang in there. Hang in there, baby birds. We got a lot of good stuff. We're not working with Lucasfilm.
We do have good stuff in the works.
Darn! The reptilian overlords are going to be so upset with me for revealing that we are actually connected to Disney and Lucasfilm, Scott. I'm sorry. But anyway, there's hormones in the water. Okay.
This is what the globalists don't want you to know.
Yeah. We're on a flat pancake. It's not a round world.
See,
it's not a
we're in
marble.
the third dimension, but the lobbyists really don't want you to realize that this third dimension is actually a fourth dimension to the donut hole that is the donut hole of the donut hole.
It's the Bernstein Bears, not the Bernstein Bears, you savages. So anyway, whew. And now we're going to talk about the Mandela effect for 40 minutes. So, no, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, for talking about this. Again, Dan, the future's bright. Just don't worry, and let's just go out. Just talk positively about what you love about Star Wars.
Spread your Bombad love.
Spread the love. It doesn't mean we can't disagree and stuff. Just go out there and make sure that you're doing it politely, you're doing it respectfully.
Yes.
And just spread more positive vibes than the negative, okay?
Totally.
Because there's too much of that in the world already.
Yes.
This is supposed to be a place for peace, So there we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Dude, this has been
Don't
fun.
forget about, don't eat the chicken nuggets from McDonald's, because they're actually, the chicken nuggets from McDonald's are made out of all the elderly people at that disappear from the homes. I think I'm slipping slowly into more deranged madman.
Yeah.
With every time. But the fries are okay. Those are fine. I think they're just made of plywood or something.
I just realized we could get Paul on to do that too. Let me get Paul in. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hey, Paul.
Okay.
He's in here. Paul can really do a good Alex Jones. Listen to this.
Paul,
This is what the
Alex
lobbyists
Jones.
don't want you to know, Gretna. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Sorry about your face. Yeah, please don't sue Scott. All right.
Anyway, thank y'all for joining us this episode of the Bombadcast. Remember, you can find us, in particular, Jerry and myself, on Twitter, dealing with all the nonsense. And you can follow us at Bombadcast. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Podbean, and anywhere you can get your podcasts from. You can also go and check out our viral video on YouTube, which I think is going to kind of pick back up probably with the home release dropping. It always does.
It feels like it is picking up a little bit.
It is. It is
last weekend. So.
People have been talking about it a little bit more. People in my family have asked about it. So yeah, I think it's gonna pick back up when the movie comes out. And what? Oh my
Scotty, does your entire
soon.
family each have their laptops out playing it nonstop just to get our
That'd be great. That would be great. I wish.
It's just there's 500 TV, there's the walls or televisions, just it looks like an electronics store in the 90s.
Yes.
And it's just all playing just that reaction.
Me crying. It's very creepy. No,
that's fantastic.
It is. And make sure you join us on Jakku Jargon. Make sure you join us in the March Madness, a wonderful weirdo experience. We have a lot in store, and we got got
some good stuff coming up for you guys this month.
We've got an awesome guest planned,
stuff.
Not for the next week, but the following week, and you will probably get an announcement from our page pretty soon about it, or you might have already gotten an announcement. Maybe, I don't know.
I might wait till after this episode actually drops to release maybe the full marketing campaign of said thing coming down the pipeline.
It's exciting. It's pretty big. But no, with that being said, y'all, I'm Scotty Jarrow. You can find me on Twitter at @TheScottJarrow. Make sure you You give a follow to us on our personal pages, our Bombad fam group on Facebook. Make sure you just join the networking community of all the wonderful Star Wars content creators as well. But with that being said, Jerry, where can the wonderful Bombad fam find you, sir?
You can find me in my basement, unrolling all my toilet paper rolls and then rolling them back up to search for listening devices from the reptilian horde. But you can also find me on Twitter at The Canon Junkie. Jerry, The Canon Junkie, at The Canon Junkie. You can also find us, again, at the Bombadcast, or at Bombadcast. Just search Bombadcast in anything you find people on.
Yeah.
And you will find us. Look for us. If you look, we will come. We will be there. We will be waiting with open arms for you Bombad people. And go. We have a Facebook group, and you guys should go over there and talk. Your best flat Earth theories on the Bombad fam Facebook group. Facebook has been doing a lot of ads. I don't know if you've seen them, Scotty. About their Facebook groups. Find your group, and we found it for you. It's the Bombad fam.
Welcome. You did it.
All right. So, Scotty, I don't know. Any closing remarks from you, sir, or maybe your cavalcade of neighbors who might parade through like your Jerry Seinfeld?
I don't want to get him back in here. I'm gonna let him do his thing. He was really. Whenever I called him in, I didn't realize his face was covered with chocolate ice cream. So I'm gonna let Paul finish his ice cream this time.
He's a real chocoholic, man. He's a real chocoholic. So
he loves
eating that chocohol.
Yes, he's whenever we go out to eat, he doesn't even order the meal. He just orders the dessert first, and it's really weird.
Yeah.
He's like I would.
Whoa, that almost sounded exactly like him, Scotty. You do a pretty good impression of him, actually.
Well, I don't want to. I'll try my best. I'll do my best, Paul, right here.
Okay.
I would like your finest chocolate milkshake.
Fun fact. The ice cream machine is always working at McDonald's whenever Paul goes.
Yes.
If you ever get the chance, again, go take a trip to the Golden Arches with Mr. Paul Stanley.
When Paul and I ride around in his 1992 Chevy RAV4, whenever we ride around in it, he prefers Frosties more. It's really weird. He'll go up to the window and order a Frosty at any.
But he makes
it could
them.
Be, it could be the bank, and he's like, he'll. I'll do my Paul again. I would like a Frosty, and he would order a Frosty at the bank, and it's just so bizarre. And
Scott, at the bank.
Yeah, at the
I
bank.
gotta be honest. Your Paul Stanley just sounds like Stanley Hudson from The Office. I like pretzel day. Anyway, I don't know. I also hear that when he makes them, he forces the people at Wendy's to do like the people at Dairy Queen do and turn the Frosty upside down to show but it never works. It never works. So, Paul, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Anyway, and now our 40-minute segment on flat Earth theory. So. No, guys, thank you guys for sticking around for the nonsense. We love you guys. You're the best. And until next time, stay Bombad. Watch out for the wombats. Watch out. They have shifty eyes.
It's what the lobbyists don't want you to know. They're a part of the big oil companies that have settlements on the moon.
Yeah, you heard that right. Wombat lobbyists are in the Senate as we speak. They're acting like they're woodchucks, but they're not. Don't fall for it. Don't fall.
My sources have told me that the Bombad cast, they record in Antarctica with the lobbyists and all the conspiracists.
or Bombad.